Satellite TV has provided viewers with a consistent service since the 1980s. By the end of this decade, however, television is likely to stop being broadcast via satellite here in the UK. Currently, there's Sky Q and Freesat. Sky owns Sky Q, and Freesat was formed as a joint venture between the BBC and ITV, and now owned by Everyone TV, itself owned by all of the 4 UK public service broadcasters, the BBC, ITV, Channel 4 and Channel 5. Satellite TV in the UK and Ireland is delivered by 3 satellites. They are Astra 2E, 2F and 2G, all Astra communication satellites owned and operated by SES, and they orbit next to each other above the equator in the 28.2 degrees east position. They form the second generation of satellites since the launch of digital satellite television in the late 1990s. Astra 2A, Astra 2B, Astra 2C and Astra 2D originally positioned there between 1998 and 2001. Astra 2E was launched on the 29th of September 2013 and has a mission duration of 13 years. Astra 2F was launched on the 28th of September 2012 and has a mission duration of 15 years. Astra 2G was launched on the 27th of December 2014 and also has a mission duration of 15 years. By 2030, these 3 satellites will have reached or exceeded the end of their service life. Satellite is one of the most resilient ways of accessing TV, but the resilience of the satellites themselves is not as strong when compared to the simpler and fast-growing technology of streaming services. The current fleet of satellites for Sky and Freesat will therefore need to be replaced. It's not as simple as reconditioning them either. Their positioning fuel runs out and other faults tend to develop, meaning replacement is the only option. Geostationary satellites are launched via a temporary orbit and then placed in a slot above a particular point on the Earth's surface. The satellite requires periodic station keeping to maintain its position. Once they run out of thruster fuel to do this, they're generally retired. The transponders and other onboard systems often outlive the thruster fuel, and by allowing the satellite to move naturally into an inclined geosynchronous orbit, some satellites can remain in use or else be elevated to a graveyard orbit. The problem is that the UK's broadcasters don't want to commit money to a future that involves satellite. The majority of Sky's existing subscribers are still on the Sky Q platform, which relies on a satellite dish. It's highly unlikely that Sky will ever release a new satellite box. Sky Q was first announced by Sky UK in January 2016 and was released in the UK in March 2016. Freesat is a British free-to-air satellite television service. Converting this base to internet-based services such as Sky Stream is taking longer than originally expected, but is taking place. Sky and Freesat have made no formal announcements either of their intent to end their satellite TV offering or how long the process may take. Instead, Sky has been pushing ahead with TV that relies on the internet instead of a satellite dish since 2021. In 2024, the free-to-air broadcasters behind Freesat launched Freely, a streaming service. Sky Dish owners can access channels via Freesat if they have old satellite dishes on their house. The growth of streaming services means that most viewers are no longer reliant on a dish on the side of their house. For some parts of the UK, satellite still remains the only way viewers can receive the full range of free-to-air channels reliably. Shutting down satellite TV means that households are more reliant on the speed and quality of their internet connection. If it goes down, viewers are left with nothing. With satellite, signal issues are usually caused by poor installation or weather conditions such as snow and thunderstorms or the wind moving a dish out of alignment. Rain fade is signal loss caused by poor weather conditions such as during heavy rains. Satellite TV signals travel through the atmosphere, passing through rain, ice and snow. When there's heavy rainfall, these signals struggle to penetrate the atmosphere and reach the TV, leading to poor signal or no signal at all. Satellite TV uses very high frequencies and short wavelengths, making it more susceptible to interference from rain compared to terrestrial TV, which operates at lower frequencies. So how many people are watching satellite TV? Well, figures published in 2024 claim that Sky satellite service is still used by between an estimated 5 and 7 million homes in the UK and Ireland. Figures also suggest that there are over 1 million Freesat homes as well. Ultimately, the number of satellite viewers has fallen in recent years. This also means that the cost of distribution of satellite services per user is high. Estimates show that the cost of offering satellite services will be 5 times as much per viewer hour by the end of the decade. With this in mind, knowing that satellites for television usually have a 15 to 20 year service life, it doesn't make sense to spend the millions of pounds involved in launching a new one if its users are only going to decline further. So what will happen to them? TV satellites are typically deorbited in one of two ways. They're sent to a graveyard orbit far above the Earth to prevent them from becoming a collision risk in lower orbits, or they're deliberately guided to burn up in the atmosphere by using their remaining fuel to slow them down, allowing the Earth's gravity to pull them back into the atmosphere. Services to the UK and Ireland are delivered by satellites operated by SES in Luxembourg. SES is a communications satellite operator supplying video and data connectivity worldwide to broadcasters, content and internet service providers, mobile and fixed network operators, governments and institutions. SES owns and operates over 70 satellites in 2 different orbits, geostationary orbit and medium Earth orbit. The company has begun replacing satellites that provide continental Europe, meaning that there won't be an end in sight there until at least 2040. So why is 2030 a likely deadline here? Well, last year Sky extended its agreement with SES to run until the end of 2029. The agreement reflects a multi-year contract renewal for satellite capacity and backup services. SES also signed a deal with QVC UK to keep it on satellite until 2029, and the previous year UK TV extended its satellite carriage until 2030. The BBC says any decision by Sky to exit satellite would, quote, challenge the viability of the Freesat platform. It's concerned that satellite operator SES may conclude it's no longer viable to provide a satellite service just for the public service broadcasters. SES will need to make decisions on whether to commission new satellites to replace those orbiting at 28.2 degrees east soon. I should point out that the orbital position is used primarily to deliver TV and radio services to the UK, Ireland, plus West Africa via a different beam not receivable in Europe. The BBC has floated a suggestion of introducing a nightlight service. Effectively, this means a limited satellite TV service continues beyond 2030 to buy extra time to force viewers to streaming. In the event that terrestrial TV services are closed completely, satellite could temporarily fill the gaps until universal internet access is provided. The satellite TV service would then carry the main UK channels. It told Ofcom that, quote, further work would need to be undertaken with the wider industry to understand whether a digital satellite nightlight is both feasible and desirable from a technical, commercial and audience perspective. In reality, as you've guessed, a forced push to streaming will likely be the outcome of all this. Both Sky and Freesat offer hybrid boxes that combine linear TV via satellite with streaming services delivered via broadband. However, some services may cease to be available on satellite but continue on streaming. If you're a Freesat customer, the core service might also continue as normal. As broadcasters review their strategies, you may find some channels cease to broadcast on satellite. Older receivers will lose some of their extra functionality. Do you think the switch off of satellites is wise? Do you agree that all television should be streamed? More importantly, what about the future of terrestrial television? Are we approaching the end of television transmitters up and down the UK? Let me know in the comments below.